So now let's look at our application now. So everything looking good from here. So when we click on this, we should open a single post inside here. It shouldn't move to a new page. I mean, it should route here because we have the router view set there. When you go to home, we have the router view here. And when I open my router, this is one of our children posts. So we are going to create a new route called posts, like a single post. Okay, so we're going to go here and post. Name is post, and then the component is post. Then, and then we have post for component, and then we say single post, right? So just for you to know that that's a single post. Okay, so that is it. So you're going to create a single post, single post the view. Now let's create a single post. So um let me just say um welcome to single post, something like that, for us to know you successfully routed to the single post. Oh, I've closed it. Anyways, so let's uh so when you click on the, so you can either click on the title, or we can make in a way when you click on the actual card, right? So most people will click on the actual card. So we can add, say, let's click, and we say show single post, and we're going to pass in the, we can either create a parameter. We can use, there are actually two ways we can do this. We can create a param here and say ID. So it's going to always, we can always call an ID. Anything we pass after the hash here will be the ID. You get it? We can do this, or we can use query. Okay, so first of all, let's use the query, and then we'll look at how we can use the ID. So I'm sending in the post to this function. So show single post. We have the post here and then the function here. So now this function is going to use the route. So we're going to say this dot. Remember, we have a globe. We can access the router globally because of this code here. Because we pass router here, so we can access it globally. So we can say this $sign router. So this is the router, and then we're gonna take in the path. No, sorry, we're gonna push a new route to the router. Okay, and then we're going to send in some things. So the path is going to be slash post, because this is the path that we are looking for. All right, and then we're going to send in a query. We're going to send in a query through the router, so we can access it anytime we access the router. Anytime we access this path, we can get a query. Anything, we can send anything inside the query. So first of all, we send an ID, and then we're going to send the post.id, and then we're going to send the post title, and that's going to be the post dot title. So look at it very well. So I think that is done. So we can save it now. Everything should work. So when we come here and we click, all right, so we get it right. Welcome to single post. That is exactly what we want. So let's go to our single post, and now let's style our single post. So I'm not going to waste much time. I'm just going to copy the code from the actual projects we have, and so everything will just, be fast, right? It looks like a very long code, but I'm going to shorten it. So let me a single post, single post, single post, single post, single post. Okay, let me take it step by step. Okay, so first of all, let's get our card, because obviously going to be a card. All right, then we get a card title. Then we get a card title. So let's just put something there for now. We want to see how the design will look like, and we get. You know what? Let me get Vuetify ready so I can just copy the code. So we go to components, cards. All right, this is what we are looking for. Right? So all these are Vuetify component stuff you are using. Okay. So something like the title will be here, and then VCard test will be there, and the VCard test, and then the main content will be here. This is what we actually want. So I'm just going to be copying the stuff for my other code. So we have the VCard test, VCard test, and we can have something there, and let's have another. Okay, I think. Wait, I need to. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to talk again. I'm just going to be styling it till we are done. So you just watch. So we have another card title. All right, and you're going to have maybe post. You're going to have posted maybe 12 June 2020. All right. So the title is here. The content is here. Now we don't have a sub content. Just the title, the main content, and then they posted that date. Okay, the dates, the actual thing was what posted. All right, and then we leave that. We leave that, and then we just we are still in the card. Okay, so we go here, and then we add a what else? We add a divider. We add a divider. And that's a new divider. Then we add a divider. A divider will just divide with the line, and then we have another VCard test. Okay. You also have a content. So I think this is the title, the sub content. So let me just name it title. Sub content, the date, and maybe this will be the actual content. And this will be the actual content. Yeah. So let's do this, and then let's see what we have, and then after that we can style it. Okay, so we have our script, our name, suppose whatever you name it. We have our data function, returns an object. In here we can have a single post with an object, and created. So once the page is created, we are going to look at the routes that we are on the page. So we are on this page. Sorry, we are on this page. We are going to speak to the route here. Okay, so the route here. We are going to fetch the ID from the route, and then we are going to send a request with that ID to fetch the post for us. Okay, So that's exactly what we are going to do. So we're going to say this dot dollar sign route. So we can say the router dot query dot id. Is it route or router? It is route. So we don't need a title, right? We just need the ID. I think so. Yeah, so query dot id. So no. I think we get post, and inside there we pass in this, and then we can say get single post and receive the ID again. So we pass in the ID as a parameter here, and so let's see if we have it. Console.loud ID. So let's save it. Console. So we should expect what is wrong? Ooh, this is the route that didn't work. Okay, this is the route. So we have the ID here 1. So we have ID for post. Oops, let me save it. Yeah, 1. Alright, so now we have the ID. Now we can send a request. So now we can import post service from, so we are here, we can go to straight, right? Let me just copy it. We're in the same place, so we can get the same thing, blah blah post, and we just go, and we can say post service dot get post, and we pass in the ID. So when you go to API post, oops, we have not done it. So get post receiving the ID here, and then the URL plus slash plus and receive the ID, and we get, alright, that's all we need, and then we save it. So when we go to when we come here, we can say slash and then ID is 1. We get it. Okay, so that's exactly what I've done here. So in the single pose, we pass in the ID plus 1. That's all that we need to do, and then we can return a progress, and then we can say response, and the response that we get is an object. All right, so response.post is what we are looking for. So you're going to say this just like we did for the first one. So this dot post is equal to response.post. So maybe in the future we can do some type checking, and then we can pass this to another we can pass to another object, and then we can map it through, and then we can say maybe if the if a title is not included, we can just say not included. You understand? So we can do all that, but for now, let's just do something quick, and then we can do that later on in the future. So yeah, we assign the post to the return object, and I think that's all that we need to do. And we can say the catch. If you catch some errors, and we can just console the error. I'm not really doing much about maybe handling errors on the front end and all that. we just build a very quick application. Later on we can do all that error handling. So in here we can now say title is now equal to post the title, and we can save it. Now what do we get here? We should get a title. Alright, cool. So now it should be, now let's start it. Okay, let's finish. And then sub content, right? So we can say, oops, we can say post dot sub content, and we have the sub content. Yeah, I think that is it. So I want to run the one that we have, so we can look at it and then design ours. Okay, so PHP observe. Okay, so we have it here. I'm running that on my local, my other monitor, so we can have 0.1 here. Oh, okay, I'm coming. This, stop this one running, refresh this, still not running. Then I close this, then I open it again, and I run it again. Okay, so this is it. So when we click on a single, this is what we have, this is what we are doing. All right, so I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to run our application back again. All right, so okay, so I'm running it back again. So you don't have to worry about all this. I'm just doing my check-ins, you know. All right, everything is working. Close it. So let's now look here. So we have the title, we have the subtitle, and now, yeah, there's a subtitle. All right, and this is the main post, and this is maybe posted on last updated. Cool. So let's do that. So this one should be that posted on and last updated. So posted on, blah blah blah, wait, comma, last updated. So posted on blah blah, comma, last updated, and then we put a date also there. All right, and then that's a divider there. You can see a very thin blue thing, and then the content. So this would be the content. So we have the post dot content. All right, so now the content is done. We have these two things that shows the views and then the share and then go back home button. So that can be in a vcard action. All right, so we have a vcard action. So in the vcard action, so let me copy that code. Vcard action. Okay, so I just copied the vcard action, so I'll probably just get it here. Ooh, that's a lot. So first of all, we get an icon MDI. I'm using MDI icons, and I do a margin right of 1, and the color is cyan and lighten, so you can see the color of the icon. That's actually the icon, and it's MDI. And then expand, and then I do a body 2. It's just like a font size, and a margin right of 2, and a white text, and I get a post.views. So that's the number. So just all of this. Okay, and then I get a speed dial. So all these are Vuetify components. If I go here and I search speed dial, so nothing fancy, they are all just already components in Vue. So if I go here, you can see, if I come here, if I click on it, You can see we have some advanced ones like this. Here is it. We have this. You understand? So this is the speed dial. You can style it any how you want. You can let it move sideways. You understand? You can make it look any way you want it to actually be. You can let it be. You can let it move right. So that's a speed dial for you. So we call the speed dial, and then we send it a view model of share. Do we have share in so share is true, all right? So if it's true, then we are going to show it. So we have a share view model of share here, and then a share. I should have share here. I should have a share of true. So I'm going to bind this with this one. Okay, yeah, I'm going to bind it with this. The rest is just as it is. So if it's share close, if it's not blah blah. So I'm going to say share will now be equal to post dot share. You get it? This is true here. Okay, so post dot share. So all these are just left. It should, that means it goes to the left direction. Direction is right. Left means it should be on the left side of things. So it should be on the left side of things, all right. And then the direction is right. Okay, so that means the direction is right. The direction of the actual thing should be on the right. Okay, and then open on hover. That means I don't have to click. When I hover on it, it comes. When I hover, it comes. And there's just some transition stuff that you have to. I think I have to get a transition also. The transition. I've copied the transition and I'll just paste the transition. Slide right reverse translation. So if you come here and you go to, you see there's a slide right reverse translation. That is it. So you can choose different transitions that you want. Slide reverse. Alright. So yeah. So if you come here and you go to the script, you can see the transition. You see it. So yeah, that's just simple Vuetify stuff you just need to check out. So what else valid? And then we have a template VSLO activator. Activator is just the stuff that we have here. Oops, just close the close thing we have on top there. That is it. So if the share is true, so here I'm going to say, since we're not using the share, using the post review, we 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 show the close icon, and if share is false, then we close it. So basically, the what activates the open and close. So if it's true, then you show it. If it's false, hide it. True, show it. False, hide it. True, show it. False, hide it. You understand? So it just toggles between the closing icon and the user icon, something like that. Yeah. So that is it for it. And then now we are going to show the content of the actual speed dial. Okay, and that is just the icons that we have: Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. And then we space it out because you can see here this whole thing is on the left side and this whole thing is on the right side. So we space it out, and then we create a router link around the vein button. So we need to move this here, and that part goes to the home directory. You can see here it goes to the home directory, and then we have a left, we have a dark. These are all properties of a vein icon, and then it should be extra small, and then the name of the icon is MDI comment plus blah 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 whatever, and then go back home is the actual thing on it. All right, so this is it. So I need to change this actually to I need to change this icon to a home thing. So maybe let's go to MDI icons, and I'll change that to home. All right, so it's going to load, and I'll probably change it to home. So that is it for the single post. I'll save this. Everything should work fine. Yeah, we have it. So when I go here, you can see that we have the actual thing and it's one. So now we're going to change some few things to make it look exactly like what we have here. All right. So we're going to add some properties to our stuff. So I'm just going to look through. First of all, we're going to get the ID of the car. Should be the theme ID. Okay. And then we're going to get a class and say margin top and down should be 1, and the car should be flat. That is it, the car should be flat. And that's all that we need. So we have to add some styling properties. So first of all, just copy this. Test title, white text, that's a post title. And the second one should have this. I'm copying it. A subtitle, class of subtitle, and then white text, and then margin top is 2. So all these are my own styling. The subtitle, text title, my own styling, but these are Vuetify's classes that you can add to things to just change the style. Alright, and the span and all those things too has a styling. I don't want us to go through all of that. That would be a waste of time. So vcar title, we have a class of the font weight is bold, Vuetify styling, body 2, Vuetify styling, white text, Vuetify styling, margin top is 3, and then we have the actual thing. So posted on, and then this one comes in. All right, the date actually comes in, right? So we're going to style it. We're going to put it in a span. And this date should be the updated, the created that date. Okay, posted on should be the update. So we're going to create it. It was posted on. That's the created at. Okay, created that date. Ouch. And then we can add our view moment stuff. So we can say moment, and then we can add our date. 3 M's, D O, and then 3 Y's, 4 Y's. Sorry. So we have our created add date, and then we have our comma. Don't forget our comma, and we have last updated. Okay, last updated on this date, and we can close this and put it in a span. And this will be the post dot updated at. Okay, and that also will be in a moment. Okay, so that will be it. So what mistake is that? Okay, do some stuff. Okay, so posted on blah blah, last updated blah blah, and let's get let me get my moment. Let me get my moment stuff done. Let me get my moment stuff. So moment is done. Blah 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 blah. So let's actually see what we have here. Okay, so this is what we have. Does it look the same? I think it's the same, just like the font difference. Okay, there's a font difference. So we have this posted on. Oh shoot, we have posted on. We have a space, and then we're going to add some colors. Okay, we're going to add some colors to the created as stuff. So I think it's here. So I'm just going to copy it to. So cyan. Thing. And we have the same thing here too. So let's see this and let's see. Okay, so we have it here. So last updated, we need a space after this. last updated. Why isn't this page working? Last updated. Spam. You know what? Ah, looking at this. Okay, I get it. Okay, so that is it. So posted on blah blah, updated on blah blah. So we will look at changing the whole font thing. Alright. And the next thing you have to look at is this. It has to be white, and it has to be white. So we're going to change the content. We're going to give it some class. We're going to say white test, which we know. Oops. Okay, so that is it, white test. So we're done with a single post thing. So we're going to do the comment aspect. So you can see we come down, we have post a comment, total number of comments, and the comments are here. So we're going to look at that. So I think for now we're done with a single post. I don't want the video to be too long, so we continue on.